Hey guys, it's Jan Sharte and I'm back again with another video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about what I would do differently if I was starting my online boutique over. So the things that I'm going to share with you guys in today's video are going to be the things that I either skipped or that I procrastinated on that ultimately ended up being the things that helped me to make multiple six figures and ultimately to hit over $1 million. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Welcome to my channel where we talk about boutiques, e-commerce, business, and all things making money online. All right, so the first thing that I would focus on if I was starting my online boutique over would have been lead generation. So obviously we have to attract people. I think that's pretty given. I don't think that that's something that needs to be discussed. We absolutely have to attract people to our business. We post, we run ads, we have our friends and family share our posts, all that good stuff. You post consistently with the hope that you attract people. However, it is not enough to just simply attract an audience because we're attracting all of these people to a social media platform that we do not own. Instagram could shut down at any moment. YouTube could shut down at any moment. TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth. All of them can shut down at any moment. And the mere fact that we don't own any of those people's personal information, their contact information, and all of those things lets us know that we should not be solely focusing on growing our social media following. So lead generation is basically you focusing on collecting email subscribers, text subscribers, and things like that. The goal of lead generation is to lead people off of one platform and get them to subscribe elsewhere. And more importantly, for you to have information about them that helps you to be able to continue to market to them in a more controlled environment. So when I first started my online boutique, number one, I really didn't even know what lead generation was. I'm gonna just be honest and put that out there. But the bigger part of this whole lead generation thing is that you also have to send the emails, send the text messages. So from day one, I kind of avoided text marketing. I really don't know why. I didn't really have a reason for it. And then with email marketing, I didn't really have a strategy for it. I just knew that it was something that I should have, but I didn't use it very consistently. Fast forward 4 years, a little bit over 4 years now, email marketing has made up over $300,000 of my total revenue as a seven-figure online boutique. And text marketing has made up about $250,000 to $265,000 of my over $1 million in revenue. So that alone should let you know that they're important. And the most important part that I want you guys to know is that, again, it's not about collecting a bunch of email subscribers, because if you never send them emails, it doesn't matter. The bigger part of that is that you're collecting valuable leads or valuable subscribers, meaning that these are people who are actually attracted to your brand, who see the value of it, who want to continue to learn about it, and more importantly, who are okay with you continuing to market to them. So I had to not only learn how to collect email subscribers in the first place, but secondly, prioritize sending emails and texts to them. So lead generation would be the first thing that I would have focused on. Okay, so the second thing that I would have changed or implemented as a new online boutique owner, if I could go back, would have been a return policy. Now, I know that this might sound super obvious or whatever, but you will be surprised the number of online boutiques and brands out there whose return policy is that you cannot return anything. So I would say probably 9 out of every 10 boutique websites that I visit has a return policy that says they do not accept any returns, no exchanges, no refunds, none of that. And I was one of them when I first launched. But what I realized is that it's not even that that's necessarily a policy that we've thought through. It's more so us trying to be protective of the money that we are trying to make. Because let's be honest, I wasn't making very much money. And I was fearful that I was gonna lose that money. I didn't have a plan for the money. All I knew was that I was gonna make the money, put it back into my business, but there was so much unpredictability, I don't know if that's a word, about the business that I could not fathom giving someone their money back. So my return policy at the time was that we didn't do refunds, returns, exchanges, none of that. But what I realized was that was hindering my ability to make money. If you think about some of the world's largest businesses that exist in this world, they allow people to return. And it's not that they want to give people their money back. It's more so about providing good customer service, allowing people to have a reason to come back to your store in the future, giving them good reason to give you, your flowers and say, hey, this brand took care of me. And ultimately they end up spending more money down the line anyway. So I also realized that I needed to be extremely confident in the quality of what I was selling. I guess I wasn't at the time, but I realized if I actually truly was confident about it, I shouldn't have been fearful that anybody was going to want to return something. And if I'm being honest, I don't get very many returns. I've processed over 17,000 orders in the duration of me being in business, and I don't think I've processed maybe 200 returns. And my return policy now is that my customers can submit a return request for store credit, which means that they still have to get something from my brand. And 9 times out of 10, they end up getting something else while also they get upsold. So they end up buying something else along with the thing that they're exchanging for. So I would have implemented a return policy because I was actually hindering my ability to make sales, because people just want to feel a sense of protection. They want to know that if this product does not work out, what are my alternatives? What are my options? They just want options at the end of the day. And if you remember that you too are a consumer, I think that'll help to change your mind about that. So that's the second thing. All right, so the third thing that I would have focused on would have been upselling and cross-selling. So upselling and cross-selling is basically you convincing customers to add more merchandise to their cart, or convincing them to get a higher priced item instead of the one that they were initially looking at. So imagine that you sell a, cotton polyester mixed tank top, but then you also have this other one that's rayon French terry with 7% spandex, and it costs $10 more. So that would be an example of you upselling. You're saying, hey, I know that you love this product that you were getting ready to spend $12 on, but we have this even better product that's similar, but better quality, better stretch, so on and so forth, and you should get this one instead, and it costs $9 more. So when I first started my online boutique, again, this is one of those things I didn't really think about. I didn't really know that I should be thinking about. Upselling and cross-selling are put in place so that you can increase your average order value. And if you can increase your average order value, you can ultimately increase your revenue. For example, if I could get you to spend $30 instead of $20, obviously I'm making $10 more per transaction. And there are different tools and apps and things like that that you can use to improve the likelihood of being able to upsell and cross-sell your products. But you need to first and foremost buy products that can be upsold and cross-sold. So back in the day, I used to sell whatever I felt like selling. None of it really made sense. There was no rhyme or reason for what I was selling or why I was selling it. Nowadays, I sell products that complement one another. So obviously, if I'm buying bottoms, I'm buying tops that complement them so that I can upsell. So if you're looking at tops, I'm going to show you some bottoms. If you're looking at bottoms, I'm going to show you some tops. During the colder seasons, I'm showing cardigans and sweaters and jackets and things like that can be layered on top of the outfits that people are looking at, which makes it a little bit easier for me to make more money per transaction. So I was so focused on selling each item individually that I didn't realize I should have been prioritizing getting people or trying to convince people to buy more merchandise per transaction. But that is almost nearly impossible, or just extremely hard, when you sell a bunch of random stuff that really doesn't tell a story or doesn't correlate to one another. So I always say, imagine you sell club clothes, work clothes, church clothes, vacation clothes. It's I don't do all that. Granted, yes, there are people that do all those things, but the average person might be like, you know what? I only come here to shop for my work clothes, or I only come here to shop for my loungewear, or I only come here to shop for my vacation clothes. 9 times out of 10, they're not buying for all of those things at one time. And so with that being the case, it makes it really hard for you to convince them to buy more merchandise per transaction. And you end up with those customers that buy one thing at a time, which means your average order value is suffering, which means you're also making money significantly slower. So when I started selling things that I could cross-sell and upsell, my average order value went from being like, literally my average order value used to be like $28, $30, and now it's upwards of 70 to $80 per transaction because my customers are buying multiple things at a time. All right, so the fifth thing that I would have done or changed would have been, first and foremost, setting aside a budget for marketing, whether that be running ads, influencers, working with content creators. I don't know. I would have set aside money for marketing, but more importantly, I would have set aside a budget to run ads. So one of the most important things that you will have to master as an online boutique and e-commerce brand is increasing and controlling or sustaining your online store's traffic. So when you first start a brand, not only do you not have followers, you're also out there posting, simply trying to get attraction or build brand awareness, and we're hoping that people go to our website, but we really don't control that. We really don't know whether or not people are going to take the action that we want them to take. And so I started to realize that I was running ads in an attempt to try to get sales, but in actuality, as a new business, I should have just ran them first and foremost to maintain my traffic. So that's what I did. Eventually, I started setting aside $5 a day, so that ended up being about $150 a month that I would use specifically to drive traffic to my brand. If we go back to point number 1, I also started running traffic ads to landing pages so that I could grow my email list as well. So I realized that, I could grow my followers all day, but that doesn't guarantee that my traffic is growing. And then when you think about the fact that, you want to make money or drive sales or get traffic when you're sleeping, when you're on vacation, when you're not actually working in your business, well, who's going to do that for you? Something has to be in place to do that. So I mentioned, I would have put money into marketing because it could have been influencers. I could have hired, let's say, 5 influencers and said, I need you to post at least one piece of content per week, depending, and I don't know how much that would have cost me, but I'm just giving an example. I could have been like, I'm hiring 5 influencers. Our contract says that you need to post at least one piece of content per week, and that could have been traffic being driven to my website, and also me being able to drive a group of people who were my ideal customers to my website. But on the flip side, I also had the option to run ads to control my traffic as well. So that would have been the 4th thing that I would have changed if I could go back and start my online boutique all over again. All right, so the last thing that I would have changed if I could go back would have been to clarify what my brand's mission was and stick to it. So I had a mission when I first launched. I can't tell you what that mission was because I had no idea, but what I can probably guarantee to you is that it didn't have any true meaning, and it didn't have enough meaning for it to move people to want to take action. So nowadays, my online boutique's brand mission is to save women time by offering them easy outfit solutions that help them to get dressed as quickly as possible every single day. So when you think about your brand's mission, your mission should not be tied to you. It shouldn't be tied to your personal preferences or your personal wishes or your personal vision for your business. Nobody cares that your mission for yourself is to make 7 figures in a year. No one cares. They want to know what is in it for them. That is what's going to be most important to a consumer who is seeing your brand for the first time, learning about your brand for the first time, taking in your content, or listening to you talk for the first time. They don't really care that you want to make money. Nobody just simply wants to put money in your pocket. They don't know you. But when they hear a brand say something that resonates to their personal story or their lifestyle or their needs, their desires, their preferences, it makes it that much easier for them to make the decision to stick around, continue to learn about you, and ultimately to purchase. So when I reframed what my brand's mission was, it wasn't enough for me to just write it down on paper. I had to stick to it and figure out how to exemplify that. And that goes down into, the products that I choose to sell, how I choose to market them, and how I ultimately choose to talk about my brand and my products, through my captions, product descriptions, and things like that. So what happens for a lot of people is that they write a mission down, myself included. We write this mission, or we come up with these like vague statements that really don't help to set our brands apart. And then we ultimately struggle to actually exemplify or display that mission through our actions in our brand. So if I could go back to day one, I would have like taken some very serious time to really think about what I wanted my mission to be, because it matters. And I think that, you know, when you start a business, this type of business, boutique, we think that it's just fashion. We think that we're starting a fashion business, but in all actuality, we're starting a people pleasing or people serving business. Your job is to serve people. So you have to remove yourself to an extent and say, okay, who is this brand for, and what can I provide, or what does my brand offer that someone out there needs, and how am I going to make sure that I'm able to consistently offer it to them? So I actually have a laundry list of things that I would change if I could go back and start my online boutique over. But these are just 5 of the biggest things that have definitely played a huge role in my ability to grow my business and to ultimately make multiple 6 figures in a year and ultimately hit 7 figures as an online boutique owner. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something from this video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to learn more about me, my business, the Boutique Academy, if you want to check out my online boutique or anything like that, just check out this description. Everything you need to know is down there. And if you have any questions at all, comment and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.